Well, here's what happened to me when I realized I'm really going to Greece and things are coming together. Is it was a big shift because I'm so used to fighting and fighting and fighting to make it happen. Now I just need to lean into it and enjoy it. And to enjoy it and keep working is a very different emotional energy than fighting and hoping it happens. It's happening. And if I don't embrace that it's happening and I keep fighting to make it happen while it's happening, I'll fuck it up.
It's that chip on the shoulder that your wife always talks about,
and
right?
I had to wow, I need to have a different journey now where I'm still working hard. I'm still in the battle. I'm still in the hunt. But I'm not fighting to make it happen. It's happening. It's happening.
Oh, yeah. We talked about before, there's that shift when you make it, your motivation has to change or there's something has to be different. When I went to college to play football, I've said this before many times, even on this show, my whole journey to play college football was fuck the coach who didn't believe in me.
Yep.
So when I got there, I didn't change my narrative and it didn't make any sense. So my motivation was literally why I made it. I proved I got wrong. So why am I still angry? The story didn't fit. I had to tell myself a different story. We saw that with Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland Browns quarterback, was so much trying to prove everybody wrong. So the minute he was not the underdog anymore.
Number 1 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah, you're not an underdog, man. So when people were believing in him, his story didn't line up, and I think it really caused him personal challenges, and I hope he changed that approach, right? It's the same way now for you and I. It's fucking working. Do it. Enjoy it. Go after it.
Well, and people have cool initials after their name. So tongue-in-cheek, fun. We'll close with this because I got to get going. But I people have MD and they have all kinds of different initials. So I've decided in tongue-in-cheek, I'm going to put initials next to my name now when I sign stuff. R.S. RS, or just RS. I don't know, but RS.
What's RS stand for?
Rockstar.
R.S. Jesus Christ.
Just silly fun. Instead of MD, I'll have RS.
I know you want to. Actually, can we go for 20 more minutes?
Yeah, but I got to text Karen because she's making special dinner because I'm leaving tomorrow. So,
I ran into this thing. I had this problem. Taxes have been a gigantic weight for me because I'm I know I need to do them, but I don't know how to do them.
Yep.
And I had a checklist that said do taxes. What the fuck does that mean? That's not a detailed plan at all. And I had to change my approach to realize okay, I can't just say do my taxes. What's the first step in that process, right? I had to create a more detailed plan. And so I've had this new thing going on where I realize I can't just, when I make a podcast episode, I can't just say make a podcast. You have to go, well, what's topic 1? What's topic 2? What's topic 3? I had to be more detailed with the way I did stuff. And it's been a really big change for me to realize saying what you want to do isn't enough. You have to really dive into how do I do it? What's the first thing? What's the first area you're headed in? And it's been a really big breakthrough for me to go I can't just say do blank. It's how, where, what's next, what's the first part of that process to do blank.
What's the first doable step?
Yeah.
You need doable steps. Life change happens one doable step at a time.
And once you parse it down in a smaller thing, you go, oh, I don't know how to do my taxes, but I can do part 1, which leads to part 2, part 3, and then there's maybe 40 steps. But once you figure out what the first step is and go there, it's a huge breakthrough. And I think similarly with content, for me, making content is momentum. I'm writing. And when I stopped writing, in New York, I took a 2-day break from writing, and I feel I lost momentum. And if you're rolling a ball and it's going quickly and then you stop the ball, it's hard to get that heavy, big-ass ball moving again. And so I've had to learn how momentum works with content, and every day is just sit down and write a little bit, and you allow yourself to have momentum and keep it going. Because if you come to a dead stop, it's hard to keep. Does that make sense?
I think creativity is an art. Not to be funny, because Karen has really, really struggled with her creativity, because she's now she thinks it's funny now. She has 3 platforms she's writing for. How did this happen to her? It's because I infected you with the Shomler virus. But she writes for Recipes Are Merely a Suggestion.
Yep.
Liberating Way Both to Cook and Lead Your Life. So stuff there.
Say it again slower. Recipes are merely a suggestion.
Recipes are merely a suggestion.com. Yep, there's a website there. So she writes there. She writes for the PortlandDiveBars.com website.
Yep.
And we're working on a book. And then she writes for Desperately Dating. So she really has been getting down on herself with her creativity because she's got to crank out this content. And she's realized that for her, writing every day or every other day or 3 times or 4 times a week or 5 times a week doesn't work. She has to chill. She's thinking all the time, thinking. It's always going in her head. But when she actually sits down to write, she does what she calls batch writing. So she wakes up, because she gets up all the time, literally at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and then has a bunch of time alone. She'll wake up Thursday morning and just crank out 8 or 9 articles. Just boom, 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 boom. And then maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she starts freaking out, I'm not being creative. And then Monday, she'll crank out 8 or 9 articles. So in a month, she cranks out a bazillion articles, but she's had to learn
how it works for her.
right, because she's seen I just sit down and work. I just sit down and work. I just write. I don't care. I just write. There's no...
Yeah, that doesn't work for me either.
Right. See, exactly. So each of us have a different way that we're creative. And I think the trick with creativity is find the way that works for you.
For me, like, there's a difference between writing. So, like, Strong Men in Sports, it'll be like, I have a topic coming out called, I have a bunch of them. One of them is like predictions versus reality, the 2019 Cleveland Browns season. So the first step of that is not sitting down to write the thing. It's like brainstorming / note-taking / putting ideas on page. And I'll take, okay, here's my idea for this, here's this. Let me rewatch the video I made of my predictions. And what I'll have is about 8 pages of messy scribbles. And then I go from the scribbles and organize them into a more well-thought-out video. Or, a piece of paper that's got, it may go from 8 pages to 1 page and a bunch of bullet points. But I had to do all the messy stuff to get to here.
Yep.
But I've also felt like I hate waiting. Like, if I wait long enough, I'll get creative. I will. Like, it might take me 3 weeks, it might take me 2 weeks, but fucking that doesn't work when you're trying to make money being creative. So I had to learn, how do I activate your creativity? And a lot of that for me is, okay, I sit down and write, and I'll just write about nothing or write about something. And after about 30 minutes of writing about nothing or writing about weird shit that doesn't make any sense, eventually creativity will come. Or if I literally sit down and like lay on the floor and look at the ceiling and just wait, after like 10 minutes, the creativity comes, because you have to give yourself space to be creative. Like, if you're on your phone texting or playing solitaire or on Instagram, your mind is occupied with other shit. But you have to give yourself space to be creative. So I've literally turned my phone in airplane mode and sit alone. And as I sit, that's why the shower is such a good creative spot, because it's quiet. There's no other distractions. So as I sit, like, this is why often I have such a hard time sleeping, is because it might be the only time all day where I have no other distractions, so my mind starts going. Oftentimes, I'll lay down at midnight to sleep, and I'll lay there for like 30 minutes and go, fuck, I gotta make a video, and I'll go back to my office and then write like for another hour and a half, and then I'll go down and lay down again, and then I'm like, oh my God, and then I'll go do another hour and a half of writing, and I don't fucking fall asleep till 6 because it's finally like I've taken the time. So my point is, like, why would I wait until I go to bed to give myself time to be creative? Now I've learned, hey, it might be 11 o'clock and I don't know what I want to do yet, and I feel overwhelmed by not doing anything. So I turn off my phone, I turn off all the sounds, I patiently wait with a blank piece of paper and a pen, and I close my eyes and I wait. And I feel kind of ridiculous that 10 minutes in, nothing's being written, I'm sitting there wondering, but eventually it comes, and you have to give yourself the quiet space to be creative.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. Give yourself space to be creative. Yep. And I do the same thing. The reason I can write every day or create every day is because I just sit down and I just start pounding stuff out, and it literally could be gibberish. But, when I work with my Bond for Insight clients, and I tell them to tackle issues, and I tell them to journal, and I say, you got to deal with this issue from childhood or in your marriage or whatever, and I say, just get out a pen and paper, a blue pen, a yellow pad of paper, very, very important, and I tell them, just start writing, and they, what do I write? I said, literally write this. I hate Steven. He told me I need to journal. I don't know what to write. I've got to journal about my marriage, and I don't want to journal about marriage. I got to journal about this painful thing in my childhood. I don't know what to say. I can't stand him. He's an idiot. Why do I have to do this? And keep writing that way, and all of a sudden, boom, because, when I had that problem as a child, I realized how much my dad didn't love me. It just slips out of you when you start, for me. Now, that being said, sounds like your process is a little similar to mine. You allow space.
Yep.
I just start working. I want to make it really clear to the creatives out there listening to this podcast, there's not a right way to create. Karen could not do either of those, and she's highly creative, and she's very gifted. She just has to wait till it's almost like the dam, all the water builds behind the dam, and then the dam breaks, and then 8 or 9 episodes at once, and then it fills back up. So you have to find the way for creativity that works for you. I mean, you did, I did,
yeah.
But to person watching this video.
But I had to sit down even and figure out, what is it? Like, today was the first time I've been like, oh, I've been doing this, but now I can put it to words, right? It's a big difference between doing something and then knowing how to explain what you do. Yeah. And once you can teach it to someone else, you've really mastered your process.
Yep.